What's up, y'all? It's time for a book review. And this particular book review is going to touch base on the Three Sisters One Book Club book of the month for October, which was, because we're done now, The Reformatory by Tananarive. This book is a lot to handle, okay? It does, when you go and look for it in a bookstore, you can find it under the horror section. So me walking into reading this book, because I'm not a horror person, I don't enjoy reading horror. So I'm scared. I'm afraid to read it. Now, since I've finished and completed the book, I would say there is a difference between minority horror reads and white horror reads. Now, some of y'all then probably already scrolled past as soon as you heard that, but hear me out. I feel as though anytime you read horror by a Black author, it's more in tune with the horrors of the real world. Things that we have went through or our ancestors, which is in turn horrible events, horrible situations, horrible subjects and topics of discussion, right? With white authors, it's mainly what I've seen, especially like with movies and books, Stephen King being one of those. It's more so slasher, lots of blood, guts and stuff, but also clowns chasing people in the cornfield. You're not finding me in the fucking cornfield. Let's just start there, right? The resurfacing of a monster from the water that's going around unaliving folks. Let's talk about Freddy Krueger real quick. He attacks kids in their dreams, their nightmare. He turns their dreams into nightmares, essentially. That's not our horrors. It's different. There is a difference culturally, right? So, with the Reformatory, there are horrible events that happen in this book. You are going to crash out quite a few times during the reading of this book. It is a pretty thick one. There's a lot that happens within this book, but it is a book that I feel like needs to be read. I will say also that it reads more of like a historical fiction with horror elements, but horror as in the things that take place at the Reformatory for these boys. Now, this does take place in the 50s. It does a slight jump into the past, like back to the 20s, but not as much as you would think. It's all essentially taking place in the 50s. Now, at this time, the Reformatory is still segregated. There is a Black side of the Reformatory, and then there's a white side of the Reformatory. There's a part in the book that touches on that, and it pissed me off real bad. But essentially, this is a good book. It's a tough read. It is a tough read. If you do end up reading this, you're gonna want to DNF so many times. You're gonna want to just close it, put it down, move on to something else. I'd advise that you read something else as you're reading this. Something that's light, fluffy. If you are a romance person, have a romance either ready as soon as you finish this, or reading a romance as you read this. This is a very intense read. It's intense, and it's intense for a reason. Now, let's get into the author note. So Tananarive does have an author note in the back of the book. So after you finish it, I'd advise that you sit down, you take a few moments to read through the author note. If you are an immersive reader like myself, the audiobook does not read the author note. It is something that you'll just have to read on your own, but it is noteworthy that you read it. She does go into more detail about what sparked her to write this book, and it's even more heartbreaking than the book itself. So I would say tread softly with this book. If it is something that you just don't want to read because of these topics. I'm going to list the topics just so you're aware. There's racism. There's child abuse. There is SA, unfortunately. It's a lot. It is a lot to deal with. It is a lot to deal with. If you read it with a book club, I feel like you're talking about the book with other people helps. It helps get those emotions out. It starts a discord. If you buddy read it, you and one other person or just a few other people, do that. I wouldn't advise reading it by yourself. That's all I'm gonna say. I feel like it'll just be way better if you read it with someone else, because it's that intense. Let me know if you've read this, what your I guess review or rating of the book was. Like, how did it make you feel? Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit that bell, so every time I upload a video, you're aware of the said video. But there are going to be more book reviews coming. I'm not an in-depth type of book reviewer. I'm not going to spoil anything for any of my viewers, because I want you to have the fair chance to read it yourself, to engross in those emotions, whatever book or genre it falls into. And this is one I just don't want to say too much. There's a lot I want to say, but I'm not going to say too much. But I will see y'all in a little bit, because I got some more videos for y'all coming up. But I will talk to y'all later.